I'm Hazel, it's Saturday today, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I've been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week, big, dramatic, exciting WoW news, and top of the billing is Cross-Faction has been announced and it is coming to WoW. In the upcoming patch 9.2.5, so not the patch that we're waiting for, but the one after that and before the next expansion, Blizzard has officially announced in a lengthy blog post that they are going to bring cross-faction grouping to raids, dungeons, and rated PvP. They are making a point of keeping it opt-in for the moment, so if you don't want to group with members of the opposite faction, as long as you don't explicitly invite any of them, they shouldn't end up by accident there unless somebody else in your party invites them to your group. And the random match-made stuff is, for the moment, going to stay single faction. So if anybody tries to tell you they're doing this to cut down on queue times, they're full of it. It doesn't affect queue times because it does not affect queued content. It's for group finder and pre-made groups for raids, dungeons, and rated PvP. I am so excited. This is something that I have wanted forever, and it just means more options for players. You can play with your friends without needing to be on the same faction, you can make new friends without needing to be on the same faction, and you can play with your existing friends while playing the faction that you prefer, so you can finally go and check out the races on the other side of the loading screen, see if any of them appeal to you more, because you can still participate in your favorite Mythic Plus groups, raid groups, arena teams, etc. The one big sticking point is that guilds are going to remain single faction for the moment, but if you want to play an opposite faction character and continue raiding with your same guild, all you need is one of them to send you a BNet invite. In addition to the lengthy blog post, Ian did an interview with IGN where he talked a little bit more about it and made it clear that this is the beginning and they really don't want to do anything they have to take back. So they're making their promises a bit limited to start with until they see what they can do, what's technically possible, and what feels right for the game, but they're going in pretty big. Once again, though, this is not ready for 9.2. This is later in 9.2.5. Apparently, it takes more for them to do something really big like this in the game than just saying that they want to. I'm just surprised and impressed that they didn't decide to hold this back for 10.0, because that would have given them more time, and because it seems like it's a great thing to help promote an expansion with. I'm happy to have it earlier. I'm just surprised that they're not trying to use it for 10.0 hype. Other things this week, a big fundamental policy change. Blizzard has decided that henceforth, boosting communities are no longer okay, even if they are just gold boosting communities. They have changed their policy to prohibit organizations that matchmake boosters with buyers. From the sounds of it, the trade chat channel can still be used to advertise gold carries, but only by a player that is going to participate personally in that carry. I am totally fine and on board with this. I'm very much apart from this issue because I don't really buy or sell boosts, so it doesn't affect me at all. So I don't know if I get an opinion, but I'm on board with anything that gets these gold carry advertisements farther away from the public eye to just make the game seem more welcoming and approachable for brand new players. I will say, though, that the group finder does seem to continue to have plenty of advertisements in it. I report them whenever I can, but it's one thing to change their policy and it's another thing to enforce it effectively, so we'll see if they're able to actually accomplish that. Other news this week, the third big headline was a mobile Warcraft game is coming in 2022. According to the Activision Blizzard investor call. Here is the exact text of what was said in the investor call. This text here is all we know so far. There was no player-facing announcement. It's just this little blurb from the investor call. So we don't have any details whatsoever, but we know it's going to be Warcraft themed, and we know it's going to be a mobile game, and then we know they're promising 2022. So many people are speculating that they could be finally about to come out with a Warcraft pet battle mobile game tie-in. That's something that's been kind of pushed around as a theory for a really long time, just because when you look at pet battles in WoW, it's very easy to see, hey, that could work really well on a touchscreen because you've just got the three options, and that's a possible tie-in. And I agree that it is possible they could do that, but I would be very surprised if that is the Warcraft mobile game that they come out with this year, and if that's what they spend their resources and their money on creating. Just because I guess they could just make a ton of new shop pets that work with it to try to monetize it, but I don't think it's all that monetizable. And I think that if they're going to be making a big push into mobile games, they're going to want to do it in the categories of mobile games that make mobile game money. So I would not be surprised to see them do a Warcraft themed, a gacha game, or really anything that is heavily microtransaction based, because a pet battle mobile game, especially if it just lets you do PvP pet battles, but on your phone, PvP pet battles are a teeny tiny part of WoW. Almost nobody does them. It would be a weird sell, I think, to a regular mobile game audience. So I would imagine they're probably going to do something else. We'll see. In Live WoW this week, the Lunar Festival holiday is back. There is nothing new this year, so if you were caught up last year, then you were still caught up. Congratulations. But if you are not fully caught up, you want to collect any of those toys, any of the transmogs, you want to get yourself some flower crowns, or finally do that quest line that lets you transmog them year-round on the character that did the quest line, then now is the time to go do that. The quest line starts in Moonglade, and all of the stuff can be bought off of vendors in Moonglade in exchange for those coins of ancestry you get from visiting the elders that are all around everywhere. Add-ons like handy notes or candy buckets can put the elder locations on your map. And in my life this week, in WoW lately, I have been mount collecting. I had a very hot streak lately with the Korthia mounts. I got the Summer Wilderling, the Purple Corpsefly, and the Stygian Stonecrusher mount, like the 3 remaining Covenant Korthia mounts that I needed, plus the Red Razor Wing from Reliwick, all in the space of like 2.5 days. It was wild. I finally moved a bunch of characters out to Korthia to help farm those Covenant rares, and it turns out that that was the lucky thing I needed to do, so I'm done with Korthia now. I think, yeah, you know, I really am done with Korthia. I have every Korthia mount. I'm free. And questions for this week, Johanna wants to know, what's the chance of getting a running my current WoW gold total segment on the show? I'm sure there's people who would like to unofficially compete with you, or a top item that you sold for the week. So, currently sitting at 348k gold as of recording. The danger with publicizing my gold total is that I'm gonna have to confess whenever I impulse buy something expensive. I haven't sold anything huge this week, a couple of pets for like kind of between 10 and 30k, which wasn't too bad. I was happy with that. It's not every day you sell a battle pet. As long as my gold making kit continues, I'll keep you posted. And speaking of gold, Zysoring wants to know, what do you do exactly to make gold in 915? So, there's the best way to make gold in 915, which is probably not what I'm doing, and then there's what I'm doing. So my gold right now is coming from 1 part callings and raw gold, so the callings gold, Paragon cash gold, selling things that I pick up when I'm just like doing my rounds out trying to get mounts, you know? I guess I get grays when I kill Hope Crusher and don't get Hope Crusher, that kind of thing. You can make like 2k per day per character just doing callings and the occasional gold missions, so that's one part of it. The second part of it has been selling pets and then like Mog and recipes and other weird stuff that I pick up and find. Mostly pets. I get those from a couple of different places, but I figure they're very easy to post and refresh and keep reset on the auction house. So anytime I can collect a pet from like a pet battle or a dungeon or something like that, then I've been throwing those up on the auction house. And then the third part, which is probably most of my profit right now, is oddly enough selling food. And then like a little bit drums and potions, but I swear it's mostly food. I've been selling haste food and feasts, and I've been selling the haste food and feasts, and they're just really profitable and they sell really well, so I just keep cooking them and they keep selling. And as long as that's working for me, I'm going to continue to do it because I would like to be rich. And that's the week. Thank you for watching. If you've got a question for one of these, pop it down below and include the word question to help me find it. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.